Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Up Real 8 podcast. We are on episode 4, and my name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Tim McGavick.
Scott, thank you for having me back again. I know it's touch and go with me being on this podcast, but I'm here this week.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Also, Tyler Switolski.
Yes, I'm glad we could arrange this. You know, I just flew in from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm a very
Private
busy
jet.
man. A private jet, of course. I've been filming there for the past couple months, so I'm glad we could accommodate this.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Also, Adam Franey.
I'm just happy to be here for a fourth time. They're getting up there, my times.
You haven't been voted out yet. This is nice.
No,
Still
I'm just
here.
happy I'm
still
invited
here.
back.
All right, we have a fairly full slate here today, guys. We're just going to run down a few things that we're going to talk about today. As always, we're going to talk about our last seen movie before and after last podcast. You know, we try and see at least a few movies, but we're going to go through the last movie that we saw. We're also going to do a Trainwreck review, movie starring Amy Schumer that came out last week.
Choo choo. All
Get ready for
aboard.
the train puns. We had ant ones last week. Train puns today.
So we're going to hop on board that later.
Oh, God.
We're also going to do
It took me a second.
we're also going to do a couple other news topics that came out this week, including a little Star Wars news, a little Sword in the Stone news. Also, we're going to talk about a couple trailers that came out this week, including Spectre and Good Dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
And we're also going to... and Mississippi Grind as well. We're also going to talk about a possible Logan's Run remake and talk a little Doctor Strange as well. So without further ado, let's get into our last seen movie. Anyone want to start us off today?
Me again? Okay.
Tim, you want to start us off again?
Take the floor.
I don't want to,
Timbit.
but I will.
What was the last movie you saw?
So the last movie I saw was a little 2012 movie called A Hijacking, a Danish film.
Hijacking.
Written and directed by Tobias Lindholm. Adam, he wrote The Hunt. I think you're the only one who's seen that with me.
Okay.
The Hunt was a couple years ago as well, starring Mads Mikkelsen. He played a guy who was accused
Love The
of
Hunt.
molesting a child, and it's just kind of like the mob mentality. This movie,
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah.
yes, this movie is a little different. The crew of a Danish cargo ship is hijacked by Somali pirates, who proceed to engage in escalating negotiations with the CEO of the shipping company in Copenhagen. I think this might have been the same year as Captain Phillip, which is a Tom Hanks one, which is based on a true story. This is obviously not. I haven't seen Captain Phillips yet. I bought it, I just never really got around to watching it. I kind of don't want to now because this movie was fantastic.
Really?
Oh, snap.
I'm going to butcher these names because they're Danish and Somalian, but it stars Pilo Asbeck as Mikkel, Soren
Mikhail.
Soren Malling as Peter, and Abdahan Hakan Asgar as
Asgard?
Asgar
Is he like a Thor relative?
Well done, Tim.
as Omar, who plays the negotiator for the Somalian side. This movie is really, really good. Great camera work. It gets really like in there with the people. Like you feel like you're one of the guys because the camera's like tight in this like tight corridors and all that stuff.
Claustrophobic.
Unlike Captain Phillips, which you kind of follow Tom Hanks' character, so you're following the captain. This movie follows Mikhail, who's the cook of the ship, and kind of follows like what happens to him throughout the whole hijacking process.
It's not starring Steven Seagal or anything. It's not,
Nothing.
I don't know if you guys.
It's not a.
I forget the name of that movie where he was a cook.
Oh, really?
During a hijacking.
This might be a remake.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Steven
Danish
Seagal
remake of the Steven
was
Seagal.
a cook, and then he obviously, had to kick some ass.
Yeah.
So,
Classic Steven Seagal.
leave a comment in below if you guys know what movie that is, because it's escaping me.
We'd really love to know.
Hey, who's hungry?
Exactly.
That's my Steven Seagal for you folks. Adam's bits.
Back to you, Tim.
So wrapping up, I'd probably give this movie 4 out of 5 reels.
Wow.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
High
Tobias
praise.
Lindholm didn't direct The Hunt. He wrote it, but he wrote and directed this one.
Okay.
So I'll pretty much see anything he sees. Yes, Adam.
I have a question.
Yes.
How is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, correct?
It
Yes.
really?
Yeah. You can stream it.
Well, I'm all in. I love The Hunt. I know we both do.
Yeah.
Me and Tim. four-reeler for me. Mads Mikkelsen, can't go wrong there. And yeah, if it's the same writer, I'm all in. And it's same like Danish or
It's Danish, so it's
same country.
pretty much
or
half of it
subtitles?
is probably subtitled. The other half is they are actually speaking English.
Sweet.
And then it's cool. They do this thing that I've seen a lot of movies do, where like if the character can't understand someone else, the audience isn't privy to those subtitles. If you know
I
what I
like
mean,
that,
like the
yeah.
Danish characters don't know Somalian, so when the Somalian pirates are talking, there's no subtitles because we're not supposed to know what they're saying, right? You just kind of getting gets the audience closer in with those characters.
I've heard that it's more like I've heard good things about this movie online. So I've heard that it's more of a maybe realistic, like fair take than Captain Phillips. That was more like
this isn't big.
Americanized.
This is not a big action thing at all.
Exactly,
It's just
yeah.
kind of more realistic.
They really
Some
built up the
Stockholm
hero.
stuff starts going on a little bit with it. It's good. It's really good.
It kind of reminds me of Dances with Wolves, how they didn't have subtitles for a lot of it. It was like you kind of had they put you in that position, so you were experiencing it the same as the characters.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That I wish more movies did that.
Yeah.
To be honest, but
Haven't seen Dances with Wolves, but
Wow.
I've seen Avatar, and I hear that's just like basically the same, but with blue aliens instead of native
essentially. I'm gonna jump in with my last scene. If you're done,
people. Wow,
if you're done, Tim.
Scotty,
I guess I'm done.
jump on in there.
Let's change the gears a little bit.
All right.
A movie that I always get ripped on from my friends growing up for not seeing this movie.
Okay.
Happy Gilmore.
Really? I haven't seen Happy Gilmore.
Saw
You
it.
haven't
Saw it
seen
for the first time this
The
past.
cinematic classic.
We're all '90s kids. You haven't seen Happy Gilmore.
I hadn't seen Happy.
Even
Gilmore.
I've seen Happy Gilmore.
That I'm not
all of
surprised
it.
by.
Classic starring Adam Sandler, as I'm sure you guys know. Adam Sandler, also directed by Dennis Duggan, who did a bunch of Sandler flicks afterwards, but also starring Christopher McDonald, Julie Bowen, who's actually in Modern Family right now. I think that was kind of funny to see her.
Yeah, she plays mom.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Carl Weathers, who was pretty amazing as Chubbs Peterson.
Yeah.
Gotta love Carl Weathers.
It's all
Little
in
cameo from Ben Stiller, and Bob Barker was also in it as a really funny part.
Is
but-
Carl Weathers the guy with the fake hand in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in
Up
the-
until right now, I thought that was Morgan Freeman.
You're such a...
My
No.
entire life.
Are you kidding me?
No, because I haven't seen it in like 10 years.
Wow. Well, it came out in 1996, so it's a few years old.
What was Ben Stiller's cameo?
He was the orderly in the old folks' home.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was
right.
like the
Go to
nurse.
sleep. Bro, put you to sleep.
Yes.
Yes.
See, I thought it was pretty good. You know, you got to take it for what it is. I don't know if you how.
This was before Adam Sandler started making terrible movies. So this is like one of like the three that he did was like really good. He did this. He did
Jesus.
Waterboy around this time too, and he did
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison, which are all probably like his three funniest
Yeah.
movies. And then
Yeah.
And I
Big
gotta
Daddy.
say,
Was Big Daddy in there?
I think that was what started
I don't
his
like Big Daddy
decline.
much, yeah.
That was started the decline for me with Adam Sandler's career.
so I gotta say, like all his movies that he's released lately have kind of tampered my impressions of this movie. Like it kind of took me out of it a bit, that because I could see all the classic stupid Adam Sandlerisms in it.
Well, the thing was he came out a while ago and started saying he was doing more family based movies now. That's why you see like he did Grown Ups,
Click.
Grown Ups 2, Click,
Pixels.
Pixels was the one that he did with
I-
it was like the where he plays like his
Jack
twin
and Jill?
sister Jack and Jill.
Okay, to me, that's for no one.
Yes.
I don't know. That's not for kids or adults. That's for no one. It's for
Basically.
dogs, maybe.
is anyone surprised by how poorly Pixels is being received? I
No.
thought it'd be
No.
aiming at like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like less than 10%.
I love that that's the
I thought
Sandler.
like people would be like, oh, the effects are pretty cool. Like that type of stuff is like a big like nostalgia factor for us. So it's doing horrible.
That's the Sandler
Apparently,
like
it's just not
mountaintop,
funny.
eh?
Like it's just not funny at all.
You don't
The
say
jokes
that.
don't
I'm not
hit.
overly surprised, but I thought I'd at least get like a 30, which is terrible, but still like a 30%. But it's like less than 10.
That's the Sandler bar now. 30, below 30.
30 is his like 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now, yeah.
There were some good jokes in Happy Gilmore though. Like I hear the jokes obviously as I grow up. So when I finally see them, like it's
Oh, there it is.
it
Was
was,
that,
it
is
was
this the one with
pretty
the
good.
infamous Bob Barker?
Yeah.
fight
Yeah,
scene?
like the,
Price
that,
is
was, that was
Wrong.
pretty good.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I'd give it 3 out of 5 reels. It's solid. for what it is,
Yeah.
you know, I can't get too high on it.
Well, if you had watched it probably like maybe 5-10 years ago, I think you probably would have enjoyed it a little more,
Yeah,
just
I
because
think
that was back at its time, like it was in its
Yeah.
prime then. I think you would have enjoyed it a lot more than.
Yeah.
Like you said, Sandler's recent efforts have kind of put a bad taste in your mouth, and now you're viewing it with like disdain,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
With that view,
for sure.
those glasses on.
Yeah.
We didn't. I just want to mention Punch Drunk Love, my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
PTA, that's why.
Classic director, Mr. Paul Thomas
Yeah.
Anderson.
That's
He did that in like around that time frame, like 2001.
Yeah.
It's highly underrated.
Yeah.
Everyone go see it.
I haven't seen it.
Go see it.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Is that put that on that list?
Put that on the
That
list.
ever-growing list of movies Tyler hasn't seen.
Watch it, man. A little PSH.
All right.
Philip
Well,
Seymour Hoffman.
Oh man, have you seen that YouTube video that they did, like the extra one where like Philip Seymour Hoffman is doing the commercial for the mattress?
No.
Okay.
I have no. Why?
If you've seen Punch Drunk Love, look it up. It's hilarious. Yeah, he has like this little like fake commercial he did for the
Oh, really?
for his store. And it's
I'm in.
really funny.
really.
Anyway, sorry guys.
Moving on, Tyler. Let's move over to you. What was the last movie you saw?
Last movie I saw, last one I watched was a little Matthew Vaughn flick known as the.
Layer Cake? You saw it?
You saw Layer Cake finally.
No. Last movie I saw was the Kingsman.
Wow.
It's
I'm sensing.
Okay. Do you remember you actually watched this movie last week? Also.
no, I watched it. I watched it again. Yeah,
So you
I'm sensing some deja vu here.
Twice.
you so
it's a good movie.
so you haven't seen it. Sorry, you haven't seen a movie since last week.
No, I have. Then my last movie I saw like yesterday. I watched it again.
Right.
Yeah.
So you actually watched it twice in
Yes.
the last week.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
We're gonna have to cut you off.
Can I stage an intervention,
What?
please? This is actually why you're here. This is an intervention.
This is it. This is a recording of an intervention.
You're addicted to Kingsman.
It's a good movie.
And I'm gonna not enable you
It's not
any
even-
longer.
He's calling it a good movie. It's not even a great movie.
It's a great. It's a
It's
great
Some movies that you consider great.
It's
Can
a
you watch
good
those
grand movie.
daily movies are great movies for you? Come on.
Wow.
I-
We're
You
gonna
know
have to
what?
cut you off. We're gonna have to
Are we
cut
putting
you
a
off,
ban
Kingsman.
on Kingsman?
Can we
The
ban
first
Kingsman, please?
Opera Late ban is when we're talking about Kingsman.
Okay, how many times can I watch Kingsman then?
0, please.
I don't understand.
Okay, let me get this straight. I've implemented a rule on myself.
Okay.
In order, I too have a big must-watch list.
Okay.
Okay? Adam Franey's top 40 must-see films for myself. And I've created a rule, no more rewatches until I've finished this list, because it's just eating up way too much time.
Okay, so it's like a tier thing where I can watch like 5 new movies and then I get to watch Kingsman after that?
No, it's just
Like a reward
straight
kind of thing?
cut
Well,
off.
maybe for like the first month, if that's what gets you through
You
it.
can't go cold turkey.
Yeah, we gotta wean him off. We'll wean you off the Kingsman.
Okay, all right.
Just as long as you don't
Do you
relapse.
have
in?
anything new to say about it, at least?
Do you agree?
No, it's just continuously amazing.
Okay.
Okay, new rule. Every new review that I do, it'll be a movie I've never seen before.
Your last seen film will now be a movie you've never seen.
My last seen film
From
will
here on
always
out.
from here on out, every new podcast, every new last seen film will be a movie I have never seen
That's
before.
all I ask, man.
Just what the fans want.
This is what the fans want.
It's for the fans.
This is what
I
they're
will
asking
make
for.
this sacrifice for the fans.
You're a hero.
Thank you. Do I get a round of applause?
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. We're
Thank
happy
you.
for you.
That was like the weakest applause I've ever
Tim
felt.
did not join
It's like
in
an A
on that
rating.
applause, for the record. Did not.
Tim
did not deserve
disgusted
it.
right now.
Noted, Tim. Thank you.
I did notice the list that Adam wrote you.
Yes, my
Uh,
metaphorical list has now become a physical list.
of just great movies that you should really see.
We're gonna whip this kid into shape, listeners.
Yeah.
I did notice one on that list. I think it was called Pimento.
It's not the right title.
I'm not sure if it was
Okay.
referring to Memento by
I
Christopher Nolan.
told him Memento.
You said pimento.
No.
And-
not
Because
like
I
the
saw
olives.
Pimento on the list.
I have never heard of pimento or memento, so I literally wrote down
You heard
exactly
pimento.
what you said.
Yeah. Because you heard Pimento. I definitely would not have confused one of the best Christopher Nolan movies from Memento to Pimento.
Pretty sure you might have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, it's Memento.
Okay, we'll
but,
have to cross it out and fix that.
Yeah.
But okay,
I'm sure there's some art house, film about the existential
The life-
crisis of a
life of
martini or
olives.
something.
Yes. I love olives, so I'd like to
So
see
don't
that
watch
film.
Pimento. Memento.
Okay.
So that's it for your last scene. I guess
That's
you don't have
it.
Backup. Okay.
No, that's it. And
And it's a straight 5 out of 5 reels, I believe.
yes, it is.
You
Yeah.
did mention that.
because
Kingsman
you
is
guys
five
would
out.
not let me go to 6, so I'm saying 5.
Yeah. Cutting you off in multiple aspects.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to Adam. What was the last movie you saw? Pull
Well-
out your mental notes.
Let me pull up the old mental notes here for just half a second.
This is
Actually,
fascinating for us listeners here.
I know it is. The movie I last saw.
Oh, here we go.
You guys may not have even heard of it. Written and directed by relative unknown John S. Baird, who only did one film previous that just didn't look interesting. I've never heard of it, so
Of little merits.
skip right over that. Filth,
Filth.
Oh, is this the James McAvoy movie?
starring
Oh.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, I've seen this on Netflix
Yeah,
recently.
I saw the trailer for it and it looked pretty crazy.
Our new thing, Jamie Bell. Fantastic Four thing, not like
I thought it was like our new
Okay.
thing, like
not like
Your
our
new
new
boy
thing
toy.
as a
Yes.
show. I
Yeah.
mean like our new the thing.
He's our latest thing.
And the rest of the cast is relative unknowns. It's about a corrupt cop who manipulates and hallucinates his way through a bid to secure a promotion and win back his wife and daughter.
Wow.
So, yeah,
I
it's,
almost watched this the other day before I watched a hijacking.
well, you'll be happy to know I liked it
Ah, cool.
quite a bit. I thought it
Good.
was very solid. Yeah, so it's a character study. James McAvoy, like I said, plays a corrupt cop addicted to any drug, you name it, any alcohol, you name it. Just playing just a filthy scumbag detective in this. Like,
A filthy scumbag?
I'm happy you caught what I did there. Yeah, so it's very clear to me when I started this movie. This director, it's a Scottish film, I should also say. James McAvoy, I don't know if you guys know Scottish. Jamie Bell also. It's clear he's a big Danny Boyle fan. This thing opens exactly like Trainspotting. I was like
I was gonna say that
taken back to Trainspotting.
the little image on Netflix looks like Trance.
yeah,
which was-
exactly.
yeah,
Another. Oh yeah, I've
with
seen Trance.
McAvoy and Danny Boyle.
I never even thought of that. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Just the streets of Scotland where it was shot. Some of the soundtrack, like a couple of the opening scenes have like a 70s classic rock soundtrack accompanying them, and him just doing the drugs. Yeah, just it
Yeah, it
reminded
sounds
me
like
a lot of-
Trainspotting to me.
Yeah, right? Like I could be describing Trainspotting right now. And like he's just such a scumbag. Like I need just this one. This is spoiler free. This isn't like relevant to the plot, but there's a point where it's revealed that he likes to, in his downtime while masturbating, he likes to phone up his best friend's wife on anonymous, like a not like blocked caller ID, and just harass her with like evil expletive type things, like, you know, I want some of your hairy fanny, things like that. And him being a detective, his best friend actually calls him onto the case to like figure out who's been sexually harassing his wife.
Wow.
And he basically goes in and tells her he's gonna like it if you ignore him. What you gotta do is you gotta string him along. You gotta talk dirty to him. That's what'll freak him out. All like the entire time, just setting himself up for a little action. Like I said, just
Pure
just,
scumbag.
Yeah, a bit of a
Just a true-
scumbag, yeah.
Just a true scumbag. It almost had like an American Psycho feel, where it's, you know, character study or just kind of watching in amazement at Christian Bale from his performance of how he can be such a like evil guy.
Manipulative.
Yeah, piece of
Psycho.
shit, in other words. And yeah, McAvoy, underrated actor, just a fantastic performance. Yeah, and I just thought it was very solid overall. There's a lot of nice hallucination scenes with some nice directing flair with the visuals. Again, very Trainspotting-esque.
Yeah, seriously.
Um,
Sensing a trend here.
and in true Danny Boyle fashion, it had a very weird tone shift toward the end that wasn't earned. So
Ah.
it kind of threw me off at the end a bit. But overall, I'd still probably give it light 3 out of 5 film reels. Yes, that's Filth. Check it out on Netflix. It's worth a watch,
Awesome.
especially if you're a McAvoy fan. Get a little Chucky Xavier.
Wow.
It's weird.
That was jinx on that one, guys. So let's move on to the movie we're reviewing this week. And this week it's a little film called Trainwreck, released July 17th this year, which is last week. Directed by Judd Apatow, written by Amy Schumer. Also starring Amy Schumer, Bill Hader, Tilda Swinton, Brie Larson, Colin Quinn. Cameos by, not really cameo, I guess John Cena was in it. LeBron James, Ezra Miller's in it. The cameos in this movie, actually, Daniel Radcliffe and Marissa Tomei.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Pretty funny.
We cannot forget
The dog walker.
Matthew Broderick's cameo.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
Matthew Broderick made an appearance.
Yeah.
And Marv Albert.
Yes.
If you're an NBA fan,
Yeah.
you'll recognize him. Method Man had a pretty funny part, too. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was the... what was it?
The hobo?
Like, I believe it was an
was his name.
African
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
I think, was he a nurse? Taking care of Amy Schumer's estranged father?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he was stitching him up at one point.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I remember.
Yes.
That's Method Man of the legendary Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes. And our future Flash, Ezra Miller, also had an appearance in this movie. Pretty awkward part that he was in.
That was an awkward scene.
He played Donald.
I'm not gonna lie, that scene made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Let's just talk about our overall impressions of this movie. Overall, for me, I thought there was some good gags, some good jokes. Like there was a couple moments where I was dying in the theater, like laughing, like it was really funny. But yeah, I think overall it was okay for me. Like as a movie, it was all right. Tim?
Yeah, I gotta agree. There wasn't a lot of scenes where I was like laughing out loud. A lot of it was just kind of like, huh, yeah, that's funny. I think the biggest problem was this. I think this is Amy Schumer's first written movie.
I think so. Yeah.
It was like pretty decently written. Like there was some some dramatic parts I wasn't really expecting, but with Judd Apatow directing, you're kind of expecting like snappier kind of, because he usually writes movies that he directs as well. So usually like snappier lines and stuff. It just like a lot of jokes just kind of fell flat for me. A couple of the cameos just were kind of like the Matthew Broderick cameo in specific. That scene was useless. Like did nothing to that story at all. Like a lot of stuff just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, that scene it was kind of
there's
weird.
like I liked it sort of. It was okay. It was okay.
Yeah. Tyler, your thoughts?
I'm very recent fan of Amy Schumer. I've kind of fallen hard for her sense of humor. Seeing this movie, I really liked it, but it had kind of like a weird kind of progression. I really liked the beginning of it, and then it went down like middle. It was just like okay, kind of all right, and then we got to the end. I was like, it picked back up again. But overall, I did really enjoy it though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I thought it was very well.
I do like her stand-up. Like her stand-up's pretty good, and her show was pretty funny too. And
I
there were some
found-
great jokes in this movie, but again, just a lot of it felt flat.
There were a lot of parts where like Scott and I saw it last night in the theater, and we were just sitting there. And there were a few parts where I was just sitting there, I could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
So I got to give it that. Like there were some parts that were just over the top hilarious.
Yeah. Like that there's a scene with John Cena and Amy Schumer.
Amazing.
Aptly named John Cena.
Don't get it.
It was a scene with him
There's
in
a
it.
scene.
Oh.
There's a scene, Tim.
That was a terrible.
It was, yeah.
Last name
It
has
It wasn't
the
even a pun. I think it
scene.
was just a really bad
But-
joke.
I just lost it. I lost it during this one scene early on in the movie.
Yeah.
It was. Whoa. You guys see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're doing.
Adam, what are your impressions of Trainwreck?
Okay. My impressions, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's get into it.
I'm a massive Judd Apatow fan. 40-year-old virgin. Very much enjoy it.
Classic.
I'm not in love, but I very much enjoy it. It's probably like top 10 for me. Knocked Up, I think, is a
Top 10
masterpiece.
comedy.
Top 10 comedy.
Okay, I was
Oh
gonna say
my
top 10
God.
movies all the time.
No. Top
Holy
10
shit.
comedy, please. Let me.
Okay.
You gotta specify.
Knocked Up, I think, is a masterpiece. 5 reels for me. It's in my top 3 comedies, I'd say. I even liked Funny People, that a lot of people, I know didn't think was funny.
Didn't really do much for me.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but like I said, I hate This Is 40. Just forget that movie. Big Judd Apatow fan. I was worried after This Is 40. I know this thing sits on like a 90, or it sat on a 95% critic rating
up there, yeah.
when I saw it. So I was through the roof for this movie. I'm like, here we go. I like Amy Schumer. Haven't seen much of her, but I watched her on Howard Stern for like 2 hours, and she was hilarious. And I've seen her at one of the roasts a long time ago, like Comedy Central roast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I was pumped through the roof for this movie. Like, I thought it was Judd Apatow's comeback, and it just, I don't know, it just wasn't funny enough. Like, at the very least, I expect to be laughing out loud, and I don't know, I didn't really find it funny. I know that's like a very
vague
thing to say about a comedy, but like,
Just
I don't know what else to say. I did not laugh at this movie.
I will say a lot of, I mean, it is from like a female perspective kind of thing.
I was thinking
it did kind of switch the roles, where Amy
and I appreciate
Schumer
that.
was kind of the cliched like male role, like can't settle down, you know, and then Bill Hader's character is kind of the put together kind of
the polar opposite.
Yeah, and so they kind of flipped the roles. So I kind of like that.
I like that too, for sure.
Aspect of it. But I found there was a lot of women in the theater that we were in, and they were dying at a lot of scenes that, for me as a male,
there was like,
it didn't quite hit.
Okay,
So maybe you know, when it's not the demographic, but there were a lot of scenes that hit for me still.
Yeah.
Though,
To jump on what Scott said, I will say my theater was in uproarious laughter at every single line. Like, every other line was just like howling laughter. So like, apparently this is Judd Apatow's comeback, but it's just not for me, because 95% in my theater was like losing their shit.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I was like I giggled at a few things, but there's no like hard belly laughs for me. Right?
I had a few. I
had a few belly laughs.
I'm shocked that Amy Schumer wrote it, because it felt very Judd Apatow-ish to me. Like,
I think they
co-wrote?
kind of collaborated.
I think they had an
together,
influence together, because I know that after Judd Apatow, I think he saw her on Howard Stern. What did he see? He saw her on Howard Stern, I think, and then as soon as he saw that, he said he wanted to do something with her. Like, he wanted to do a movie with her. So I think they both had a creative input when they wrote this.
Yeah,
when she wrote this.
I think they did it together.
even in his direct, I know like all his movies he's directed, I've seen all the behind the scenes special featurettes and stuff, and he always encourages improv, so I'm sure he was getting them to improv a lot of it, right? Like, and I know like his big accusations for him in his movies is like he always goes too long and he tries to bring in too much drama. Felt it worked in Knocked Up, because I enjoyed the characters. Like, Seth Rogen was great, Katherine Heigl was fine, and but in this I just didn't care enough about the characters. Like, it wasn't earned for me. Like, I felt there's clearly a point 3/4 of the way where they try to bring in some drama and some heartfelt stuff, and I just didn't care. I'm like, I don't care about these people.
I feel like it got to the middle. I'll just gonna jump on what you said there. It got to the middle where like it kind of like just started going downhill a little bit for me.
Like you said, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think that there was just like a lot of length to some of these scenes where it's like the Judd Apatow like classic. Did this really need to be in here? Kind of thing.
Yes.
It just felt like elongated.
He's like in love with his own stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is amazing. This has to.
It
stay
needs
in.
to be in there.
But
Yeah.
he doesn't understand that. Like, we don't need that.
I do want to say, like, I did like the performances in it. Like, you know, Amy Schumer was okay. I didn't like love her performance, but Bill Hader was great.
I thought Bill Hader was great too.
Brie Larson as the sister, I really liked her. Like,
she's great. I love.
She was good. Yeah, she's good in everything.
Yeah.
You know, the father, Colin Quinn, I thought he was.
Yeah, Colin was great.
Yeah.
He was
awesome.
Yeah, he had some good quips.
And I don't even mean funny. I just mean performance.
That opening scene was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Full monologue.
Yeah.
Now LeBron James.
Let's get down to it, folks.
He can't act, but God, is he funny?
You know what? I felt that he did an amazing job.
He had some funny lines.
He was my favorite part of the movie. I thought he was the funniest guy in the movie.
Space Jam 2?
Uh-oh.
I heard
Have you
about
guys
that.
heard this news?
Yes.
He has a production company that has apparently teamed up with Warner Bros. Recently. So we might be getting that Space Jam 2 movie that he said he wanted to do a few years ago.
Possibly.
I hope so.
It's not confirmed.
Oh, it's not confirmed at all, but...
I don't want to be the downer, but I didn't love LeBron's performance.
Oh, he wasn't a great actor at all, but...
Scott.
I thought it was funny, but everyone was hyping up LeBron in this movie, and when I saw him, I just saw LeBron being LeBron. I don't know.
Well, yeah, he's playing himself.
That's the thing. He did himself.
I mean, it was funny,
even
but...
more than him. Like, that was the thing.
Scott's having an Ant-Man moment right now.
I don't know.
Tune into episode 3.
Damn it, Scott. I mean,
it was
Adam.
okay. I almost like John Cena's performance is better.
Yeah,
John Cena
I'm the
was
opposite.
pretty. John Cena. I thought John Cena was good, but it's John Cena. We can't expect.
I felt that the John Cena stuff wasn't was only fun. Like they're relying on the shock value that it was John Cena.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
had someone else, and their scenes would not be nearly as funny as they are.
Whereas LeBron, there was a bit of that, but it was at least his writing was more genuinely funny. Like when he's quoting the Kanye song.
That was
that
so
could
funny.
have been anyone.
That's probably the
Yes.
one scene
Yeah.
I laughed out loud at.
I had a belly
Because
laugh.
I didn't realize halfway through, I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is Golddinger. 18 years, man. 18 years.
Imagine if Cena and LeBron's roles were switched, though. Imagine LeBron doing Cena. Imagine how much better that would have been, though, right?
Hey, we've already got a little glimpse of LeBron by accident before that finals game.
Yeah.
A little shorts adjustment.
Yeah. I thought I had to commend Cena for just going out there
Oh God,
and then just not bearing it all. Kind of like
he bared it all.
Oh, it was all there.
Kind of like what was it? This is the end. Who was what's the guy who was playing Gambit? What's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Channing
forgot
Tatum
he was in that. Wow.
Yeah,
This
true.
is the end. Just
Yeah.
going
Horrific
full,
performance.
just
Chained up.
just
in that.
going full bondage dog in that movie. And,
I gotta
And
give
just-
him props to that.
just going
Full
out there.
bondage dog.
He'll do
And
anything, and it's amazing.
John Cena bared it all in this movie as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, let's. Yeah,
You want to get into spoilers?
let's.
Spoiler
let's get into
section for
spoilers
Trainwreck.
if
Scenes
you
that we
want to.
Yeah.
Any scenes that stood out for you guys that you guys really enjoyed? Tim, anything?
I kind of disagree with Adam on the not being emotionally attached. Like, during the funeral scene for their father, I was pretty moved by that. Like, it was like a funny kind of like, my father's an asshole type of thing, but still, like, she's crying, Brie Larson's crying. Amy Schumer, I thought, did actually a really good performance.
Amazing. Like when she was doing that speech.
Yeah, like she can
I agree.
actually
I
act
think her
like it wasn't
performance
just her doing like her stand-up character. It was like an actual like character.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't Amy Schumer on the screen. It was like,
Yeah, she was acting.
yeah, she was acting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Weird,
Weird, right?
but yeah, I liked that scene. That
Yeah.
was pretty good.
I'll agree with you. I really agree with you. Like seeing it, like because that was like there was a one scene that was just like a really long scene, and like while she was doing the speech, and you actually saw her start to cry, and it was perfect.
I do want to mention Tilda Swinton. I didn't even
I did
recognize
not
her.
Oh my
recognize
God.
her.
Until you said it, I had no idea.
I was checking the
Yeah.
cast out like later on that night. I was just like, Tilda Swinton's in this. Who the fuck did she play? And I was looking through. I was like, oh my god, no way.
She was her boss, and
Yeah.
she was really funny.
She was
She
funny.
stole all the scenes she was in for me. Like
Yeah.
I was laughing pretty hard
Yeah.
at her jokes, and yeah, when Amy Schumer's character gets fired, like that was pretty
Yeah.
jokes too. Like
No, you're definitely fired.
Oh yeah.
I can have my people having sex with a 16-year-old or
beating them up,
or beating them up, but not both. You can't do both.
Can't
Can't
do
have both.
both, darling. Yeah, Tilda Swinton was awesome. I saw this with a few family members, and my aunt was like losing it 'cause I guess she loves Tilda Swinton. She was like whispering, like, "Do you know what that is? That's Tilda Swinton." And I'm in my head, I'm like, "Oh my god, no, it's not. It just looks like her." And then we leave the theater, and she IMDb's it and shows me. I'm like, "Holy shit, that was actually her."
She looked pretty good too. Like
She looked hot.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Let's put it out there.
Cards on the table.
She looked
yeah.
good.
Tilda Swinton,
I mean,
not bad for.
I hope she looks half that good as the Ancient One. At least half that good.
The Ancient One. Let's
Yeah, what do you guys think
Stay
of that?
tuned for that
How
one,
much
guys.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
circle
we'll
back
get-
around to
yeah,
that.
okay.
Nice little news nugget coming up.
That one
Preview.
scene, like, it did seem out of place, that one scene with Matthew Broderick and Marv Albert.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
'cause,
get
like,
to that.
This is my problem with the scene. Scenes should be like moving characters forward, really, right? But Bill Hader comes in. This is like an intervention because he's like messed up with Amy, and then he leaves exactly the same as he was. Like they don't change his mind at all.
Yeah.
It's literally just that scene.
They didn't even say anything.
And
That was
Matthew
the
Broderick
thing.
is sitting there, and you're like, is he playing Matthew Broderick?
Yes.
Or is he playing someone else? We don't
Yeah,
know. And
good
then
point.
They're like, oh
It
yeah,
was
Matthew
odd.
Broderick's here. Like, oh, so he is playing himself. It was not well done.
Very good point.
The Marv Albert part was kind of funny though. How he was.
Yeah, that
you
made
kind
me-
of have to. You kind of have to. If,
Yeah.
if you know the NBA and you know that he's a color commentator on it, then it was kind of funny how he was doing the play-by-play of the intervention as it was happening. But yeah, overall the scene, And I do want to mention before we move on, just what did you guys think? Because we've seen a lot of high caliber movies, on this podcast.
Speak for yourself.
We like the Oscar movies. We like a good movie. But what did you guys think of the cinematography in this movie? It's one thing that I noticed, and I was just completely bored by. It's just one of the gripes I have with comedies.
They all look the same.
They don't. It's lazy. It's lazy editing. It's lazy camera work. Like the establishing shots, they just show a generic shot of New York City above from a helicopter. It's like you could do anything. You could do any shot. You could make it a lot more interesting, but it's just lazy to me.
I think that it's because it's like a hot dog. They're just trying to deliver the essential nutrients to you just to get to the next point. Like it's just an easy they want to get to the
How
comedy.
do we get to the next,
to the comedy,
to the next joke?
And even the way each scene is framed, it's like floating head delivering joke, cut to floating head delivering joke, cut back to, right?
Yeah.
There's no
style,
creativity, which is why these generic comedies, generic horror movies will never get these this Oscar attention. People always complain about it, but it's because they're fast food. There's no dressing, there's no guards, they don't style it up and
and then you get movies that are Hot Fuzz, or just that whole trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End, which are directed by
Edgar Wright,
and they all feel similar,
Visual.
but they're excellent movies, some excellent
Ant-Man.
shots in those movies.
Oops.
So you get a comedy like that that's just it's not those movies usually aren't laugh out loud, but the storylines are actually really good in those movies, and you care about the characters in those movies, for me at least.
But it draws you in.
It's
And,
the editing and
you can actually get style in those movies.
the camera work. I don't know if you guys have seen Shaun of the Dead.
All the transitions. That's the best.
Shaun
I
of the
have.
Yeah.
That's that scene where what's his name, Frost.
Nick Frost.
Nick Frost, where we're in his house, and he just turns and opens the window, and you just see the zombies. And then he closes it and then looks back. I mean, it's scenes like that where it's just completely visual.
Yeah.
And it's not about delivering a line,
Yeah.
a funny joke. But I wish that happened more often. I wish that filmmakers and comedies went out there more and tried to do more
all
than
comedy
that.
movies feel the same. Marvel movies all feel the same because they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
All these comedies just feel like the same person is shooting it.
Yeah.
For sure, that's a perfect way to put it, Tim.
Now, jumping back, those movies were perfect because they were done by Edgar Wright, right? So that's why they were so perfect, because it was him. It was a bit of him in every single one.
They were done the right way.
Exactly. Oh, you.
It's right there in his name.
Stop it. So then and that's why I was really excited for the Ant-Man movie, because I knew it was going to be, they're bringing that comedy, the comedic aspect.
There was a little bit of it. There was, that.
But if they had, Edgar Wright being just an icon, those three movies being such iconic comedies, I feel like him bringing them to it would have been Ant-Man would have been better.
Just to mention Ant-Man for a second, you can see the Edgar Wright influence in that first scene where Michael Pena was saying my cousin said this, was telling me, and they sort of do a lip sync kind of thing, that's, you can tell that
you can tell that. For fans who don't know, Edgar Wright was let go from that project, presumably because he was brought on to do Ant-Man before the Marvel universe started taking shape. So his script probably didn't fit in that well. But in Ant-Man, you still get scenes that were clearly Edgar Wright.
You can feel it.
That scene was probably from his original script. The scene where they're fighting in the suitcase with the Cure song going was probably his, because that's Edgar Wright all over.
Mm-hmm.
So anything original and interesting was Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Anything generic was Peyton Reed and Marvel. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that about just comedies in general.
Yeah.
I just wish they tried more to do more visual stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't watch a lot of comedies, I think. It's just, they don't appeal to me as movies.
Well, that's why I love last year's Best Picture winner, Birdman. To me, that's a comedy, but it's just so different. They actually brought Inarritu brought style and cinematography and incredible acting. That is, to me, a comedy.
I feel like there's a lot there that you can do with the cinematography to make it funny.
Yeah.
And not
it
just...
can be done.
Yeah, it's clearly there's... I just think there's a lot of potential there that's being missed. Yeah. And I kind of noticed that while I was watching Trainwreck. So, yeah, I'm gonna give Trainwreck. I'm gonna say heavy 2 out of 5. Kind of middle of the road.
A heavy 2 out of 5. What? Sorry.
Reels.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, reels.
I'll give it a heavy 2 out of 5 as well. I think.
Heavy 2 out of 5. What? Sorry.
Reels. Stars. Reels.
Reels. Right.
Reels.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
That's what I thought you said.
Tyler.
I'm going to give Trainwreck. Circle back to me, Adam.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I
like it.
Some
need a moment.
marination
Little
there.
theatrics.
Hard decision here.
Yes, it is. I need a moment.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna keep the same wave going. A heavy 2, just the ultimate generic score. It's right on par with Ant-Man for me. Just
Jesus.
Just a movie. Just a regular
Is each
movie.
reel gonna have like a different sound? 5 is like woo.
Yes.
4's like yeah. 3's like all right. 2's like 1's like
Why?
why?
Yes.
That's
Tim.
what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, cool.
So I'm giving this one a huge why. No, I'm gonna no.
I'm gonna say you liked it the most out of us.
Yeah. What?
No, I'm giving it a light. Oh shit! I forgot what the scale was.
It's okay. You don't have to use it.
Okay, thank
It's
God.
my scale.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Anyways, I'm gonna give it a. I'd say a medium 3.
So a 3.
Well,
3.
well, no, it's a no light 3, heavy 3, just a medium right in the middle.
3.
So a 3.
Whatever you guys want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, medium,
medium
a
3
medium
reels.
regular
3
medium
reels.
3 reels.
Out of 5 for Todd Skowski.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Reviews locked and loaded.
Seems about right.
there you go.
I think
But
we're
yeah,
all pretty much on the same page here with this
Yeah.
movie.
I would recommend seeing it. It's got some funny jokes.
Probably a pretty
and
good date movie. Like it's
Rentable.
yeah.
Rentable.
Yeah.
Video on demand.
If people still do that.
Yeah.
I almost went to see this in the VIP theater with my girlfriend.
Oh,
We decided not to.
good
Which I'm
thing you
glad
did
because I
it.
didn't want to drop $25.
Yeah, I say it was good, but even though I liked it a lot, yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
You could have got a burger to your seat though. I mean, that's
You have to pay for the burger on top of that $25 ticket though.
Not
that's true.
Ouch.
Let's move on to some news topics that came out this week. First thing we're going to talk about is some Star Wars news. So, what do we got? We have possibility of getting Benicio Del Toro in Episode 8 as a villain. This is not confirmed. This is just a rumor that he's in talks. But this is very interesting to say the least. Who wants to jump in on this?
I think we all
Tim?
are pretty much going to agree on this one.
Tim, what are your thoughts on Benicio Del Toro in Star Wars Episode 8?
Could not be more excited. I love that man.
Yeah,
Love him.
in
And,
love.
what?
In love.
In love with him.
How could you not
Please
beat
call me Benicio. No, he's awesome. I mean, he looks great in Sicario. He's great in Usual Suspects. He's great in Sin City.
I wish the listeners
He's not
could
so
see
great
this.
in some other things, but whatever.
Tim
All
is,
can't be perfect.
Tim is super excited. He's just grinning like an idiot. He's just
but-
like so happy
Yeah,
with this.
like I think he probably got a taste for the sci-fi movies from Guardians,
Yeah.
and I think he'll be an awesome villain.
them? His best performance to date, Guardians. Right?
Probably.
Possibly
Just the collector,
collector.
It's
right?
definitely his like wackiest.
Yeah. Let's stay away from that in Star Wars, please, Benice.
I like the news but I just hope. I know it won't be, but I have my reservations about. I hope he doesn't do the crazy collector thing again.
No, I'm sure he's gonna be a lot more
I think it's gonna be low key. It's
They
gonna
had
be,
to go wild with that.
It's gonna be Jackie from Sin City, like just
Yeah,
be more of like a presence.
Jackie Boy.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Tim just
I
blew my mind.
think it could be pretty amazing. And honestly, the first thing I thought was like Admiral Thrawn or something like that. Like, how awesome would that be? I don't know how much you guys know about canon, but
I've heard he's the best big bad or whatever in the expanded
I don't know
thing.
if they're gonna throw him in there. I just if they paint his face blue and make him an alien with red eyes. I mean,
Maybe
that'd
just
be pretty
quickly
cool.
tell the listeners who he is. Very quickly.
Grand Admiral Thrawn or
Yeah.
Benicio Del Toro.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Born in 19. I don't know.
He's basically
What he's from, perhaps.
It's in the
Scott?
expanded universe, which now isn't considered canon in the Star Wars universe, but there was basically a trilogy of books that came out, basically describing what happens after Episode 6, and he was basically an admiral in the Empire who basically took over, and he was a pretty badass character. Just basically looked like a human but blue with red eyes, and he was just a pretty badass character.
Oh, so we
And-
think this might be him?
I'm just saying it would be pretty cool if they finally.
You guys were afraid he was going to go weird with like Collector weird, but now you guys are talking. These characters were blue with red eyes.
I mean, he's not a Na'vi,
okay,
but I mean, he was badass. It's not like this crazy kooky character like the Collector is.
Okay,
where he's like this crazy, like Beetlejuice kind of craziness.
The Collector.
Yeah, Thrawn was a character that
people
was
have elbows, don't they?
intimidating and menacing, and kind of pulled the strings. But I doubt we'll see him. I doubt they'll use him in the upcoming movies. But I'm excited to see Benicio possibly in Episode 8. Adam?
I don't think we have to worry about a wacky performance like he was with the Collector, because that's James Gunn's MO, just kind of that zane, that wackiness. And I know Feige was quoted as saying, like, we actually had to tell James Gunn, like, please be...
Cool it.
No, the opposite.
Oh.
So we had to tell him, be more James Gunny. We want this to be weird. So, like, with Rian Johnson directing Episode 8, director of Brick, Looper...
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be the darker turn, a la Empire Strikes Back. So I think he'll...
So this would be the Empire Strikes Back of the Star Wars cool.
Yes, cool. Rian Johnson is going to direct the Empire Strikes Back of the Star Wars franchise. In other words.
You excited about this news, Tyler?
I am. I have liked Benicio Del Toro.
I'm sure you know him from...
Since I first saw him in License to Kill. Back... that was like... ridiculously young.
Yeah,
that's when I first saw it.
Yeah, I saw that movie when I was like 8.
Yeah.
That grossed me out.
That was a pretty horrific death. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. Gets put into his cocaine grinder. It's pretty twisted. But no,
literally, he gets twisted into that thing.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Gets twisted literally.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's but I really like him. Then I saw him he did Savages as well. I saw not too long ago. Savages, he'd be a pretty weird character in there as well.
Seems to be just a weird man.
Overall, just a weird guy, and I think he'll do a really good job whatever role's thrown at him. I have faith in him.
What do you guys think about this, though? Because, I mean, we already have a few villains that we're getting introduced to in Episode 7.
Yeah, so have they kind of told us that they're not making it past that movie,
who's not going to make it? I mean, you got Kylo Ren... You have, Snoke. You have Captain Phasma. I mean, is it going to get too busy, or is one of these characters going to bite the dust? Is Captain Phasma going to make it to Episode 8? I don't know. Adam?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point, like, I think that they want to, from everything we've seen, they're clearly trying to follow the original trilogy's formula, from what we've heard and read and seen. And I know the prequels kind of had a new villain every film. The first one, they had Darth Maul. Mm-hmm. The second one, Dooku. The third one, Grievous. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't like that, obviously. Like, the original trilogy having Darth Vader.
They killed Darth Maul, and he was, like, the best character.
Yeah. So, like, the original trilogy having Darth Vader as that constant, menacing evil force throughout each film, I felt was way better, so I hope they don't...
I think they are going to do that. I think they're going to have Snoke is going to be there throughout, and I think Kylo Ren is going to be that Vader character that's going to be
Who's
there.
Snoke again? Remind me, Scott?
Snoke is Andy
Serkis's character. I noticed...
That's still a mysterious character. We have no idea who he is.
Andy Serkis, not at Comic-Con on the Star Wars panel.
Not in the trailer either.
I'm not sure if he's filming his Jungle Book film right now.
Ooh, that's why
he might be busy.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't heard much about this
he is
Supreme Leader Snoke or whatever.
We heard his voice in the initial teaser.
Yeah. So we don't really know what role, if he's going to be a villain. We're assuming he's going to
be
like
the Emperor type character, where like the Emperor's not even in the first Star Wars.
I totally forgot the Emperor. Yeah.
He'll just like pop up in the second,
also
third.
A constant villain. Yeah.
Tyler, you have...
Yes, I was want to jump back on what Tim said there, just because it was the prequels. What they did, they had Darth Maul, who was again he was like the apprentice of the Sith Lord. What was it? Of Palpatine.
Yeah,
he was such a powerful character. Like they could have
Darth Sidious.
Yeah, they could have carried that character on to episode. Like they could have kept going with that, but they didn't. So
that was one of the many many
downfalls of
missteps that they took.
I will say there is a possibility.
George
One
Lucas
man took that step.
One man took.
There is the possibility of of Darth Maul returning.
Yes.
What?
Because
What?
I don't know if you know this.
I do not.
He actually did have a comeback in the Clone Wars series,
Which is canon.
And there is a possibility because of maybe an Obi-Wan prequel or an Han Solo or something as an anthology film, we could see Darth Maul come back. And I mean, they've been doing a lot of what the fans want. The fans showed, how they feel about the prequels, and I think JJ and the team at Lucasfilm are kind of they want to make it right and go more by the original trilogy. So I think getting some of the best aspects of the prequels and going off that, I think that could be really cool to see Maul back.
Yes,
I agree. Like, Darth Maul's my favorite thing in the prequels. Okay. Darth Maul's the only good thing in the prequels. Let me rephrase that.
I did like Palpatine in the
Ewan
original.
McGregor,
Okay.
I thought was amazing.
He was okay. But
Okay, those things
make your point.
fine.
Except for those things. All of those other things.
Those
and
three
this.
things were good.
We won't mention what makes them bad.
That's one good thing
It's
per
too
film.
much.
So I'm torn here because Disney. For the listeners who don't know, Disney announced everything other than the movies and the Clone Wars animated series.
And anything that gets released this point forward is canon.
Yeah, everything that has been released other than the Clone Wars series and the films is wiped now. None of that exists anymore. Everything from this point forward, like video game, TV show, anything,
comic books
is canon. Comic book, literally
any
anything
literature,
with
anything.
Star Wars on it. Your Star Wars lunchbox comes out
Canon.
next year. That's canon. So I'm torn because why would they specify the Attack of the Clones series is canon, other than to establish that Darth Maul is still alive, in that sense, right? But then the other side of me says everything they've done in their power is like, do not reference the prequels. Like, whatever, it's like cancer. We cannot, no prequel talk ever. Don't, like, as little CGI as possible. Like, no characters from the prequels referenced. Like, nothing. They want to pretend that never happened. So,
but wouldn't you want to see
Darth Maul would remind you of the prequels.
Wouldn't you want to see a Darth Maul done like right though?
No, I would.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
I would, but I don't know that, like, the new regime with Disney owning Star Wars wants anyone to remember the prequels, is what I'm saying. Unless that's just a specific thing to JJ, and moving forward, maybe
They should just remake the prequels.
JJ should just remake the prequels.
Seriously.
I need just to clarify. They're looking at jumping back and like doing like a flashback of Darth Maul, or they're saying that he's actually still alive.
He survived.
Yeah.
To
He
death.
survived
He
getting
gets
cut in half.
kick-ass
Because he was in
robot
two
legs.
pieces.
He has
Yeah,
robot
so
legs.
he
and
came
then his
back.
legs also get a robot torso. No, I'm kidding. But
His robot legs get robots.
yeah. No, but yeah, he gets robot
He
legs.
basically came back. He almost looked like a spider at first. Like
Is this from the comic books? Like,
This is in the Clone Wars television series.
Okay.
So he came back. He had some like spider legs, and eventually he got to the point where he had like actual like humanoid legs. Like he just had the two legs.
Okay.
And it's like, how many people in the Star Wars films have got their hand or their arm cut off
It's
a
true.
lot. That's
and
like
have
the
it
go-to
replaced
move
by a fully
Jedis.
animatronic arm? I mean, it's not beyond reason. So that the same thing happened to Maul, and yeah, there was some interesting storylines in the Clone Wars where some revenge.
And then Darth Maul also has like brothers
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, so possible. We'll see.
Oh,
But
we'll see that.
overall, I think we're excited about Benicio Del Toro.
Yes.
Possibly being an. Yeah. Okay. But
Tim he's just or whatever. I don't care.
He's okay, I guess.
let's move on to the next topic today. Also staying within the Disney realm, Disney has been reported as developing a Sword in the Stone remake, being written by Brian Cogman, who, I don't know if you guys have watched Game of Thrones. He's a writer. He's done a few episodes of Game of Thrones. So, what do you guys think about Disney doing a live-action Sword in the Stone remake, written by a guy who's done Game of Thrones? Do you think that's a good fit?
Don't care.
Wow.
Thank you, Adam.
Tyler?
I you know what I have faith. We've talked about the live action Aladdin that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. I can't really get a feel for how they're going to do this, because if they're using a writer from Game of Thrones, that's all pretty fucking dark, you know. Like, how are we going to turn this into a live action Disney film? Like, I don't want a red wedding when they try to pull the sword out of the stone. Like,
just to put it in perspective, though, Alan Taylor, who was a director on Game of Thrones, did Thor: The Dark World.
okay,
So I mean, it's definitely possible for someone to transition from Game of Thrones and do like a big live action.
So people can do more than one thing?
Yeah.
no,
Interesting.
I mean,
no.
I think it's
I don't think so.
I think you're just you have the one.
Maybe.
I think from a storytelling perspective, it's nice to get someone from a TV series that's
Stop it.
as big as that, where they have, they have had some successes, and he's directed some really, and written some really nice episodes in Game of Thrones that earlier on, maybe not last season, but
You have to remember too that working in TV and on Game of Thrones based off the novels, this writer is definitely shackled. He's basically being told, like, here are your boundaries, like you have
must
to
hit these points.
You can write your dialogue the way you see fit, but you have to follow this string. Like with something like this, he's way more free. Right?
He gets a lot more creative input into what he can do.
I do want to say we did get some other news the other day about Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur, this Guy Ritchie film that's coming out.
What?
Don't care.
What? No. Let's go back to
starring
Guy
Charlie
Ritchie.
starring Charlie Hunnam as King Arthur.
Double don't care.
Who I know Tim mentioned this earlier, but looks just like Charlie Hunnam with a sword, basically.
No
Like,
way.
he doesn't look like
Sure does.
he doesn't look any different.
Who's
it?
There was a photo shoot for a magazine.
Wait, is it like how in Sons of Anarchy he looks like Charlie
Looks a lot
Hunnam
like
with
that.
a leather vest,
Yeah.
and in
But you swallow
Pacific
the leather
Rim,
vest and just give him a sword.
he looks like Charlie Hunnam, clean shaven, in like
Yeah.
a Power Ranger suit.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy.
do you guys think that? I mean, this always happens in Hollywood. I mean, you see like Snow White. There's like 2 Snow White movies that come out at the same time.
I don't like that.
You're gonna get 2 Jungle Book movies out at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we
There's
got 2.
two?
So there's 2 King Arthur movies coming out. I mean, I don't know. Like, is it too much King Arthur? I mean, are we gonna get fatigued with these? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Like I said,
Too
I
much-
don't give a shit about either, so it's not fatiguing for me.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm okay with it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for your colorful input. Thanks.
It always seems to happen at the
Fuck
same
Charlie
time.
Hunnam.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like one studio gets has the idea, and the other studio gets wind of it, and they're like, "Oh, we need to fast track it so
do
we can
this
beat
better.
them." And I don't know.
Guy Ritchie's doing it. I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'm more excited about the Guy Ritchie one.
I will admit,
I'll-
I totally forgot that Guy Ritchie is somewhat intriguing. The fact that he's doing it, I will give you that. But
See, like a little less. Don't care now, or
And the Sword and
almost care.
the Sword and the Stone remake. We haven't heard who's directing, who's starring.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll get excited because Disney has had some success in casting at least some good actors in their live action remakes lately. Going from Cinderella and then into Beauty and the Beast. Some good cast. So we'll see going forward who they get for that. But let's move on to some exciting trailers that we saw. First up, Spectre. Tyler, let's get your opinion on the latest Bond installment.
Is this Bond enough for you?
here's my thing about the new Spectre trailer.
Give us your speculation
You are.
on the Spectre trailer.
Thank you.
Put on your spectacles. And,
Oh, that was
Tim, you
better.
want to throw one in there?
no.
Okay, good.
Okay, back to you.
So, so you're just spectating, I guess. Or?
Okay. Yeah, we're pros, people.
Thank you. I didn't love the trailer, and that's what I love about it.
Really?
I think that's the best part about it. It did. Adam, you're looking at me like I'm a fucking psycho right now, but thank you.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I know.
Tyler Switolski didn't love a James Bond thing.
And that's what I loved about it, because they didn't go over the
Explain.
top. They didn't try to grab you and pull you into it. They gave you some stuff about the storyline. They didn't give you a whole ton of action. They didn't try to grip you in. You were going to go see it because you've seen the last one.
They didn't give any big action set pieces away.
Exactly. They didn't do any of that. So now you have to go and see it because they've given you just enough to make you wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Adam?
The plane. There was like a plane crash that looked pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that's the
But I
thing.
guess
Those are the
no,
little
you're right. They
bits.
didn't show like like a big sequence.
Like the Skyfall
Right.
trailer showed that whole train sequence.
And see, they had
Right.
to do that because you saw, like, in my opinion, I didn't like Casino Royale. I know like a lot of people did.
Well, going from Quantum of Solace, they had to up their game.
Yeah.
They had
Exactly.
to get people back
Yeah.
in their seats.
They
in the theater.
needed to give you that amazing
And,
trailer for Skyfall to bring you back into the series,
And they sure did.
and they did. And so for this one, like again, it's Sam Mendes is doing it again.
Looks great again.
Exactly. They're bringing, you know, all the characters are going to be there. You know, like Moneypenny, Q, like they're all going to be there. We have Ray Fiennes now as M. Like all these characters are going to be there, so you know it's going to be good. They don't have to try and prove that to you and grab you with this trailer, which is exactly what they did.
I just want to say, like, I like how the series now, after Skyfall, they've kind of hit their stride, I think.
Mhm.
And I think they're going back to the more classic Bond kind of tropes where you have that, you know, bad guy, Christoph Waltz, who's pulling the strings, that kind of, you know, stereotypical, you know, megalomaniac kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who has the henchman, Dave Bautista, who's going after Bond.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's got the looks of a more classic Bond
Yeah.
that we haven't seen in a lot of the earlier films, like in the Daniel Craig era. Like Casino Royale, it was more like almost like Jason Bourne. Like
It was a good action movie. It wasn't a good.
Yeah,
Bond
I think
movie.
now
now-
was definitely a response to Jason Bourne. They're like, we got to Bourne this thing up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which
And
was
I think-
unnecessary. That's not the character
I love
they
because Casino Royale is awesome.
want. See?
Tyler doesn't know what he's talking about.
Top
I love it.
I clearly
10
have no
action
idea what I'm
film of
talking
all
about.
time for
But Quantum
Adam.
is terrible, but yeah.
Yeah,
It was garbage.
I just think Spectre is just now they're finally getting back to Bond, getting
Yeah.
back to classic Bond. And I like that. Adam?
Well, okay. For me, getting back to classic Bond is a little bit like worries me just a little bit. Just that it might be too familiar because I'm not a Bond like purist like Mr. Svitalski here. This is why I love Casino Royale and Skyfall so much because they were building. It was like, you know, it was like a prequel sort of. It was before
Mm-hmm.
Bond, like before all the Bond tropes. So it was just something different. It was very refreshing, you know, and it was cool. We were building toward those tropes, and like it's like Star Trek, like J.J. Abrams' first two Star Trek films.
Mhm.
Now with this third one, they're finally at where the show is at. So I'm kind of less excited. Like the trailer overall, I definitely liked it. It looks good. I can't argue that, but yeah, I'm not pumped. But I guess that could, like you're
That's
saying,
the point,
Ty,
in my opinion.
could work in my favor. But that Skyfall trailer was just like blows this one out of the water for me. But I guess you got, and like I don't know, I kind of disagree. Like I don't think studio's ever gonna say, well, we don't want you guys to be pumped for this movie. We're not gonna make an amazing trailer. I think they always are trying to make.
Oh yeah, they're
Best
trying. They're
trailer
trying to make
possible.
an amazing
I just-
trailer, but I don't think giving all that action is what's going to make it an amazing trailer.
I just think they're holding their cards close to
Yeah.
their chest on this.
Well, the thing that blew me away in the Skyfall trailer wasn't the train scene. I loved when like the cinematography
Yeah,
from
that's
Deakins,
so
the
lit.
master,
Mm-hmm.
when he's rolling up in the tux on that like Asian float with the Chinese dragons behind him.
Yeah,
That cinematography, though.
gorgeous.
Is
Deacon's
Deacon's doing
not
s-
back this for this one, but
He's
they've
not?
got no. It's the same guy that did Interstellar and
Sorry.
he's like the next Deacons. He's shot a bunch of movies recently that have been all
The new kid
looking
on the
gorgeous.
block.
All right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Can we confirm that Andrew Scott's probably a bad guy? I mean, they keep saying he's an IMF agent, and then we get one quick shot of him, and he looks evil as shit. He's got his eyes looking down, just looking angry. I'm like, this guy's straight up evil for sure.
Well, that's the thing.
He's got to be.
There's
Yeah.
been a whole bunch of, like not necessarily interviews, but a whole bunch of stuff going around about him, like trying to answer these questions. And he's afraid of being typecast as a villain, right? Because you've all seen him in the Sherlock series, right? Like
I hope so. Love
he's
that.
amazing. He
Great
is the villain, right? Like
Yeah,
he's
he's amazing.
Moriarty.
Anyway, he is the villain.
know what that was.
That was a
The
terrible.
old man dying in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that- Hoyt van Hoytma?
For what?
It's a weird name.
The cinematographer.
Okay.
He's got
He
quite the
did-
resume.
Interstellar, Her, The Fighter,
Her.
Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in Spectre. I
Oh yeah. Well, that's the
I
thing.
didn't
Like he's
catch
got a
that.
Dingby, I think his name is, or something like that.
He's being touted as an IMF agent, but when they
MI6.
did like their press, IMF is Mission Possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said it twice. MI6.
MI6,
This is
bro.
embarrassing. This is
Wow.
Yeah.
We're
He's
getting a
been-
little excited for Mission Impossible, which is coming out next week. Stay tuned,
Stay
guys.
tuned for episode 5.
Tim is very excited.
But he's been touted as an MI6 agent. But when they did like the press release for the movie, he was on the same side as like Chris Alval's and Dave Bautista. He wasn't standing with all the other characters.
Tim
So
going in deep.
going real deep.
Interesting.
It's a speculation. But
Your sources haven't confirmed anything? You haven't called Mr. Mendez? No?
no,
Okay.
He's now returning
he's
my
a personal
calls.
friend.
I know he is. I know.
Okay.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another trailer.
I mean, he calls me Jim. Doesn't really know my name, but whatever.
Let's move on to another trailer that came out this past week. Definitely changing gears on this one. The latest Pixar movie, first time that Pixar's done 2 movies in 1 calendar year, and that is, of course, the Good Dinosaur trailer. What did you guys think of this? We just saw it. A couple of us just saw it just before we did this. So what do you think of it? Tyler, what was your impressions of it? You just saw it?
I just saw it for the first time, probably about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, and you know, it looked like live action. It looked like it was going to be
Yeah.
it looked beautiful, and then like the cartoon dinosaur stepped in, or like the
good.
I don't want to say
the good dinosaur.
The good dinosaur. He was very good. He stepped in, and I was just like, wow, okay. But then again, through this trailer, not a word was spoken. So I'm kind of, except for the little kid, he said hello once. I think that was it.
The kid or the
The
dinosaur?
dinosaur.
Oh,
Boom.
mind blown.
I think we're gonna have talking dinosaurs.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the way they cut the trailer, they wanted to kind of put you in the emotional kind of state of where it is, and they just wanted to put you in the world and see the visuals and kind of get you into it and not reveal too much about it. But
John Lasseter confirmed it's a boy and his dog story, but they flipped it. The dinosaur is the talking one, and the boy is like the dog one.
Ah, okay.
there is a voice cast. I could be wrong for this movie. Like it's a pretty well.
There must be. It must be pretty close to being done
What
shooting.
I
I
remember
think.
It's definitely done, bro.
who they had as the dinosaur, but we didn't hear any dialogue really.
Nothing really.
I'll search through my memory bank
Yeah.
to find out that voice cast.
I do want to say that, as you mentioned earlier, the visuals looked pretty amazing.
man.
Yeah.
And I think they're just stepping their game up as each movie they do. They're just
Now,
going way out there and just going crazy with the visuals. It looks
am I the
amazing.
only one who's seen Inside Out of us four?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Tim is the only one.
If we flash back to episode 1, where I reviewed Jurassic World,
Yeah.
totally forgot I'd
Yeah, you
seen
yeah.
Inside Out before or after I'd seen Jurassic World. So let me just do a quick little review here. That movie was phenomenal. Inside Out. Scott's with me on Pixar. I'm a Pixar fanatic. I
Pixar.
love everything they do, so I am beyond excited for this. Except for Cars and Cars 2. Haven't seen it. Don't care.
yeah, we don't talk about that.
Damn you,
But
Owen
yeah,
Wilson,
holy
damn you.
shit. I've been excited for this movie when it got announced like a couple of years ago. And then finally when this trailer came out, this is probably their best animation. Like the dinosaurs are obviously cartoony, but there's a scene where you get like a shot of the ground and all the stones and all the dead like
There's like a gecko, like a little
little
little.
bite, and then
yeah.
like the dinosaur paw just comes down and squishes out like jelly. It just man, this trailer looks phenomenal.
Yeah, they've been
Visually
stepping
alone,
it up.
I'm just pumped for this movie.
I was left speechless, and this word gets thrown around a lot. I was literally stunned by the animation. I don't know, like, if they inserted animated characters into a live action thing. Like,
Shit, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
it's literally
Clearly
hard to
not.
tell.
It's clearly animated, but you
It's
got to
done
commend them
so
for their
well.
efforts. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to use some live action footage, then go animated. Like, I thought the beginning was live action until the
Like you saw
dinosaurs
the
stepped.
mountainscape in the background. Like
Yeah.
it was perfect.
And I know this was in like development hell for a while. Pixar was trying to get this off the ground for years.
Yeah, I've known about this movie coming out for a couple of years now.
Is this one of those ones that they had like just banked for like decades?
well,
Not
I think
decades,
maybe
but-
a decade. I think.
Okay.
Like
A
the
lot
last
of
10
the
years, I believe.
Pixar movies that have come out are off like a set of meetings they had back in like early 90s
It wasn't even-
where
it wasn't
they
even a
outlaid
meeting.
a bunch of
It
storylines
was
they
like a
had.
lunch
a
that
lot
they
of
had.
them, yeah. Like a lot
They-
of stories come from that meeting.
They spend a lot of time developing and their stories just to make them fit right. Because I remember even just looking up like WALL-E, for example, like looking up the development of that movie and seeing the different ideas they had for that story, where it's completely different from what you get in the final product. And it's just pretty cool though when you think about Pixar. Like how many amazing stories they have in their.
It's
like
incredible.
It's crazy. Like I don't know how they come up with all these stories.
Like I think the 3 lowest movies on Rotten Tomatoes are like Cars 2,
and Brave,
and probably Monsters University. But those are all probably around
like
70s. Cars 2 is a little bit lower, but most of them are like high 80s to 100.
Yeah. I definitely think we're gonna cry in this movie.
I cried in.
I think there's gonna be some emotional scenes in there, and I think we're gonna cry. I get a Land Before Time vibe.
Which is just
and
pure
I don't know
nostalgia.
if you guys.
Oh yeah.
Your childhood, does that bring you back
That
to your
hits you
childhood?
right in the feelings.
I cried when I saw it when I was a child.
Dem feels, okay, because that was a tearjerker, and I kind of got that vibe. I think there's going to be some moist eyes in this one.
I think I might have cried in like maybe a couple movies tops, and it's.
Well, you're a robot.
Well, you've seen like 14 movies total. So you probably haven't got to the sad ones.
You haven't got to those ones yet.
Like not even 14 different movies.
Yeah.
Just
14, like it was like
6 of those 14 movies is
Kingsman. And like 6.
The rest are Bond.
And all the rest of the Bond movies.
Just to touch on the voice cast, so I believe this. Well, it's hard to. We've only seen 2 characters from the trailer, so I can't tell who the characters are. But seems 2 unknowns are that get top billing. Raymond Ochoa as Arlo. He looks like a young, like 13-year-old kid. I'm assuming
Probably the dinosaur.
probably the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Wright as Papa.
I know Jeffrey Wright. Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright.
You guys know who that is? He's okay. I've
see?
never seen him before.
Like from your mind, let me see.
Yeah, I'll try to telepathically.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, he was in
Casino
Bond.
Royale.
Bond, and then he was in the Hunger Games movies as well.
Oh yeah, okay. Steve Zahn.
Plays the new
Anna
Felix
Paquin's
Leiter.
in it.
Yeah, we got Steve Zahn, Anna Paquin, Sam Elliott, Francis McDormand.
These are huge.
Huge names.
This is a huge cast.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be some talking.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm more excited for this movie then.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from the trailers.
Do we have to? I can talk about this movie for like an hour.
I'll
break down every Pixar movie. First, Bug's Life.
No, Tim, please.
We'll save that for the bonus.
Yeah,
It'll just be me talking for an hour about Pixar.
I'm the opposite of Tim. I've barely seen any Pixar movies.
You have a sad childhood.
Yes, I'm not even excited to see them. But this movie, I'll be there opening day. I'm blown away. I'm in. I might have to touch up on my Pixar.
Yeah.
I'll lend you all of them. I have them all on Blu-ray.
Thank you.
I think I speak for everyone when we say we're all really excited about
Yeah.
this. Let's move on to definitely switching gears again. Logan's Run. I don't know if you guys remember. It was a film that came out a few years ago, but is reportedly being developed by Simon Kinberg of Star Trek fame, the reboot. He's done written a few other movies. But what do you guys think about a possible Logan's Run remake? I don't know how familiar you guys with it are with this series. I can give you a little rundown.
I'm familiar with the movie. I haven't seen it, but I know like kind of the influences it's had on other movies.
It's basically kind of
It's like a classic sci-fi
dystopic kind of future where everyone in the society basically, once you hit 30, they execute you, and no one. Yeah, basically you don't get older than 30, and there's these people called Sandmen who hunt you down and kill you once you get 30. Basically,
They're called salmon?
They're called Sandmen.
Oh, okay.
Not salmon.
Salmon's less intimidating.
Yes.
And then, but there's always some people that try and run, and they're called runners. And basically, Logan, this character Logan, is one of those Sandmen who hunts down people once they turn 30, and eventually, he rebels against the system and becomes a runner himself. So hence Logan's Run. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that Justin Timberlake movie.
In Time.
In Time.
It's like that meets The Island.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they have this...
Two incredible
Are you getting
films
pumped?
smashed into one.
Similar where they have like the time kind of written on their wrist. It's kind of the same idea. They have like a mark that says like when they're going to die kind of thing. When they hit 30. So you can see the influences from Logan's Run in that movie. So, yeah. What do you guys think about Simon Kinberg writing the first draft, at least, of a Logan's Run?
He's written some pretty terrible movies. Like he did the Triple X sequel, State of the Union.
Never.
Yeah.
Ice Cube?
And he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which was actually decent. And then he did another terrible movie.
Jumper?
But he's written
Anyone?
recently. Yeah, he did Jumper
Last
as well.
Stand?
He had like
Anyone?
Last Stand. But then he also done like Days of Future Past He wrote Fantastic Four, which looks decent. So
Writing Apocalypse, writing Deadpool,
Yeah.
writing Gambit.
so optimistic. He's
He,
on a pretty good track record currently.
Yeah, he's currently the Kevin Feige of Fox. He's producing and writing every X-Men movie
Yeah.
and every Fantastic Four movie. So I'm actually worried that this will take his mind too far off of those and he won't be able to focus on continuity. It's like if someone said Kevin Feige's, going to be a hands-on producer of just like a totally one-off random movie. I'd be like, what? This guy's getting away from Marvel. Focus on Marvel, bud.
Actually, just reading here that Bryan Singer was actually going to do this movie about 12 years ago, Logan's Run.
Yeah, this remake's been through development hell for over a decade.
Do you think Bryan Singer now would be a good fit for this remake? After
No, Bryan Singer doesn't make any
X-Men?
good movies besides X-Men. That's well established. That's a fact.
I
Besides Usual Suspects.
Yeah, fact breaker.
That's his best movie. But then he did the first two X-Men. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to do Superman. Movie tanked.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Jack the Giant Slayer.
Written by Simon Kinberg. Also tanked. Comes back to X-Men with Simon Kinberg. Crushes it. So,
Yeah.
Well, they are buddies, so maybe they'll take this one on together.
I think it depends who they cast, because there's in the Logan's Run, Logan had like a partner, and then who was also a Sandman who hunted people down, and then his partner ends up hunting him down. So I think seeing who they cast and who they get, like chemistry wise,
Like a Repo Man kind of situation.
yeah. I don't know if you guys seen Repo Man.
Maybe they'll get James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender to be the two
I mean,
leads.
that would be pretty awesome, I think.
yeah, they're fantastic together.
Well, I was joking, but now that I say that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. So I think it just depends who they cast, and I think Kinberg is just doing a first draft. I don't think that he's writing it fully, but who knows? I mean, I think they just brought him in to just get the story down. And
I had heard like 2 or 3 years ago, the one that got me hyped was Ryan Gosling and Nicholas Winding Refn were attached to this thing. Yeah, direct.
Gosling and
Winding Refn was gonna write and direct. Gosling stars, I guess Logan. I assume. I haven't seen the original.
That'd be a very different movie.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different. Ultra violent, probably.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting though.
So yeah, let's move on to some other little tidbits that came out today. I don't know if it was today it came out. Possibility of Rachel McAdams starring in Doctor Strange as the female lead.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about Rachel McAdams joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
It was a couple days ago.
Was it? Okay. Adam, thoughts?
So we should say she confirmed she is in early talks with Marvel.
Yeah.
She actually confirmed that.
Yeah, there's rumors flying, and they asked her. She's promoting Southpaw, and she said, yeah, it's just early talks right now, so I can't say that I'm in the movie, but we're just there's discussions. I loved her when The Notebook came out. I thought she was amazing as an actress, and stunningly beautiful. Also.
She's a looker. Yeah.
But she hasn't done much as of late. Like, her newest thing, True Detective, is bad, and she's bad in it. So I can't say that I'm pumped. Maybe if this was 10 years ago, I'd be pumped. But yeah, I mean,
it's hard
interesting.
to get excited on two fronts. Agree with Adam.
Right.
She hasn't really done much recently. Although, have you guys seen About Time with my boy Donald Gleason?
Okay, I
haven't.
Great little cute little movie.
Sold.
It's about time traveling romantic comedy movie.
Love both Gleasons.
But she's great in that. But yeah, so she hasn't really done much, and then also Marvel doesn't really have a lot of strong female characters in the movies that get me pumped when they start announcing possible casts. Because I'm like, oh, okay, this is just gonna be some damsel in distress character probably.
Secondary kind of.
I just
besides Guardians, but the rest of them are just kind of the females are just kind of there for the guys to move along the story with.
I just hope that Rachel McAdams in this movie is more of a Gwyneth Paltrow in Iron Man, more than a Natalie Portman in Thor, because I don't want to see, like you were saying.
But Iron Man 1, because she gets progressively worse as the movies go on.
I still like their chemistry though.
Okay, I have to jump in here. I have to jump in. Jon Favreau said that Rachel McAdams was the runner-up to get Pepper Potts
Really?
in the
Really?
original Iron Man. She
Okay.
lost out to Gwyneth Paltrow
So she's been trying to get in the club
Yeah.
per se.
for like
But
7
yeah.
years.
I just hope she's not a damsel in distress, kind of like
I feel like
what
she will
Jane.
Yeah, I
and
can
Thor
see
is.
her. Yeah.
I
All
mean, just
females
give
in
her a
Marvel.
better role, you know. But I think overall, I think it would be a good addition to the cast. I mean,
Yeah, they're a good actor.
they're shaping up.
She just hasn't had
the
really
Doctor
good
Strange shaping up to be a good cast.
Well, as a great man says, John Campea, great cinephile podcaster, good old Canadian like ourselves.
And listener of the podcast. No, I'm
Yes.
kidding.
Hopefully.
Now he will be. Anyways, never a mistake to add talent.
yeah,
He's talented, so.
there you go. I
And
think
is it like funny or ironic to say that the only interesting character that Marvel's giving to a female is going to be a man?
Yeah.
And Tilda Swinton,
Yes.
the ancient one.
Yeah.
Like, we'll give you a meaty role, but you have to play man. That's it. That's our rule.
I'm still not. No, I'm still on the fence on that. I'm not sure if Tilda Swinton, like, is that confirmed or?
No.
You have to
Just a
assume though, because the ancient one was a male. So I'm wondering why would they cast a female to play a male? It doesn't make
Well-
sense to me when you can just get
What
a
is this,
male.
the 1700s?
Wow.
Well, it was weird because the
Thank you.
short list that came out for the ancient one had like Ken Watanabe and Morgan Freeman, and I think one other actor I'm forgetting right now.
But all men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then confirmed Tilda Swinton will play the ancient one.
Yeah.
What?
According to comicbook.com, she doesn't know if it's going to be a male or female role yet.
I think I know I said it earlier, but I think it could just be an androgynous, just kind of.
Yeah.
You don't know. It doesn't really matter what gender the ancient one is. It's just, you know, I don't think it'll matter, and I think when the movie comes out, we won't care. I think.
I'm sure like the comic book purists are going to care,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
they'll care.
but like general
They'll
movie
start
audiences probably haven't
fires.
heard of Doctor Strange. So
Nobody knows who the
they
ancient
won't
one
even
is.
know.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, it was an old Tibetan man.
But Tilda
Yeah,
Swinton
yeah.
is
Except for everyone who
talented.
knows who the ancient one was.
Let's hope this isn't another situation where they get a British actor to play an Asian iconic character from the Marvel Universe and then reveal, no, just kidding, they're actually playing a British actor as well. I hope we don't get Mandarin.
Yeah, we don't talk about Iron Man 3.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Mandarin, that's right. We just pretend it never
I
happened.
didn't hate it as much
Like
as you
Marvel
guys did.
themselves did.
Yeah.
With starting Avengers 2 with Iron Man being unretired and not explaining it.
Let's move on to the last topic today. We're going back to another trailer, which is Mississippi Grind, a little kind of indie flick. It looks like, starring Ben Mendelsohn and Ryan Reynolds.
My boy Benny.
So, what do you guys think of this? I know a couple of us just saw it just now. I personally like it. I mean, you know, you can't expect too much from a movie like this. I'm not expecting, you know, anything extraordinary, but I think it'll be a good little fun.
It'll be entertaining.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm excited about it. Anything with Ben Mendelsohn. I think all you guys are on the same page as me. Anything with Ben Mendelsohn, I'll watch going forward. And Ryan Reynolds looks pretty good in this movie.
He's been choosing a lot of good roles recently.
Yeah.
Like he's not going for his typical comedies. I mean, he did Buried a few years ago, which was just him buried in a coffin for an hour and a half.
Very
The
good.
Voices, which came out this year, apparently is phenomenal.
I need to see that
I
movie.
need to see that movie too. He plays like the serial killer essentially.
Who can talk to his pets.
Who can talk to his pets? Who are
And he
voiced
vo-
by him as well.
I'm adding that to the list.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for this movie. It looks good.
Mississippi Grind. Tyler?
I'm very excited about it. It looks like you can tell that it's a Ryan Reynolds character. Like he has the same kind of mannerisms as Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, he
but
looks the
it's-
same a lot.
But it's different though. You know, it's you get a taste of Ryan Reynolds, but it seems like he's playing a different character than before.
Yeah. Adam, your thoughts?
I loved it. I guess maybe possibly more than you guys. I don't know. I just thought it was a beautifully well crafted trailer. Just the way it opened, kind of light. It looks like a fun road movie. We should mention that they're two gamblers and they're going to Vegas, I believe.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Well, they're going on
Aptly
this-
named.
And Mississippi.
They're going on a
grind.
Mississippi grind of sorts.
They're going to grind a little bit.
in Mississippi.
And they're just going for kind of just like a buddy road feel, and then it took a dramatic turn,
You get a little emotion in there.
nice emotional beats, and then right at the end they ratcheted up the intensity. Yeah, I just thought, I'll see anything Ben Mendelsohn does. The guy's a gem. Do you guys smell that? I think I smell a little Oscar buzz.
Really?
For Benny Boy. Oh yeah.
Really?
Wow.
I'm calling it.
Calling it now, eh?
Well, when is the release date? If it's
Not
between
sure on that
October
one.
and December, definitely.
I think
If
it
it's
probably is.
after, before, no. But
I just hope that Ben Mendelsohn gets some more recognition, gets some more leading roles, because I know in episode 1 we did Slow West, and he
comes up every episode.
He was great in that. We just keep talking about him. When we start talking about Rogue One, we're gonna be talking more about him. I will not confirm.
I feel like Ben Mendelsohn should be our unofficial mascot.
Yeah.
Mississippi
He
Grind
is.
out
Yeah.
September 25th.
Okay.
right, pretty close to October. Yeah, I'll say it. I think he's gonna get some Oscar buzz, Mr.
Okay.
Ben.
Yeah.
Finally, love him.
Yeah, just seeing him in this trailer, I mean, you can really see that he's getting a chance to actually show his chops, and yeah, I'm just really excited to see him. Honestly, he looks great. So
He looks good.
He hides that
He's a good
Australian
looking-
accent.
He looks good.
yeah.
He does.
All right, I think that'll do it for episode 4 of the Up Real Late podcast. Happy for you guys to join us today and listening. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below.
You can email us at upreallate@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at upreallate.
Follow me on Twitter at Mogi6, MOGEY, and the number 6, all one word.
You can follow me, Adam, at Franey25, FRANEY25. I'm also now on Letterboxd. Just started my account. You can follow me there at UpRealAdam, one word, real spelled REEL.
Reminds me, also you can find me, uprealtim, on Letterboxd.
That's letterboxd.com.
Wow, I gotta get in on this. Wow.
Oh yeah, Scotty, jump in, bud.
You can
Jump in.
You can follow me on Twitter at S_Ellis71. And yeah, we'd just like to thank you guys for listening again. So until next time, see you guys.
See ya.
Ciao.
Thank you.